KL-9 gripped the deteriorating control console of his ship as another system failure warning flashed across the cracked display. The Void Striker had been the most feared vessel in the Nexus Imperium's fleet, a biomechanical nightmare designed for one purpose: planetary sterilization. Now it was dying around him, its organic components shutting down one by one as they approached the small blue world the Imperium had designated for cleansing. Mission parameters confirmed. The ship's failing AI rasped through damaged speakers. Planet designation: Earth. Sentient species detected. Contamination level: severe. Recommended action: complete biological extinction. KL-9's elongated fingers traced the activation sequence for the planet killer weapon one more time, ensuring muscle memory would serve him when the moment came. He'd performed this ritual 47 times before on 47 different worlds. Earth would be number 48. The Imperium had been clear about the threat this planet posed. The inhabitants' humans were spreading their contamination beyond their homeworld. Worse, they were doing it without permission, without joining the galactic order, without accepting their place in the hierarchy. Chaos species like this one had to be stopped before they infected other civilizations with their dangerous ideas about freedom and individual choice. As Earth grew larger in his viewport, KL-9 noticed the planet's unusual beauty. Most worlds he'd sterilized were gray, industrial, polluted by civilizations that had consumed their resources without restraint. But Earth gleamed with blue oceans and white clouds, its land masses painted in greens and browns that suggested abundant life. Deploying infiltration pods, the AI announced, beginning cultural analysis for optimal extinction protocol. The ship's bioscanners had been designed to identify the most efficient way to destroy a species, find their weaknesses, their fears, their breaking points. But as the data streamed across KL-9's screens, he found himself reading about something entirely different. Humans, it seemed, were impossibly diverse. Instead of a single culture, they maintained thousands of different ways of living. They spoke over 7,000 languages, practiced countless religions, created art in forms the Imperium had never imagined. Most puzzling of all, they seemed to celebrate these differences rather than eliminate them. Analysis error detected, KL-9 muttered, running the scans again. Species displaying non-optimal survival characteristics. But the data was consistent. Humans willingly helped members of other human groups, even when those groups looked different, spoke differently, or held opposing beliefs. They created music that served no survival function. They told stories about imaginary events for pure entertainment. They kept animals as companions without consuming them. Most incomprehensible of all, they regularly risked their own lives to save complete strangers. The ship's biomechanical hull shuddered as another system failed. KL-9 estimated he had perhaps 6 hours before total systems failure. More than enough time to complete his mission. Then the communications array crackled to life. Unknown vessel, this is Houston Ground Control. We're reading severe structural damage to your ship. Do you require assistance? KL-9 stared at the communication panel in confusion. The humans had detected his ship, a vessel specifically designed to be invisible until the moment of attack. More bewildering, they were offering help to a potential threat. Repeat, unknown vessel. Your ship appears to be in distress. We're prepared to render aid if needed. There, offering assistance, KL-9 said aloud, his voice echoing strangely in the failing ship. Confirmed, the AI wheezed, humans displaying typical chaos species irrationality. Proceed with mission. Instead, KL-9 found himself activating the communications array. This is the vessel Void Striker. We are experiencing multiple system failures. Copy that, Void Striker. We're tracking your trajectory. Looks like you're heading for atmospheric entry. Can you adjust course for a safer landing zone? You would. Help us land safely?" There was a pause on the other end. "Well, yeah. That's what we do. We've got emergency crews standing by and medical teams if you need them." "How many souls on board?" "Souls? How many people are on your ship?" KL-9 had never been asked about souls before. In the Imperium, individuals were units, resources, tools for the state. "I am. 1 soul." "Okay, 1 person. We're clearing landing zone 7 at Johnson Space Center. Follow the guidance beacon we're transmitting. You're going to be fine." Over the next 4 hours, as the Void Striker descended through Earth's atmosphere, KL-9 listened to the constant chatter of humans working to save him. Air traffic controllers rerouted civilian aircraft. Emergency crews prepared for every possible scenario. Medical teams stood ready to treat injuries from a being they'd never seen before. They didn't know he'd come to kill them all. They only knew he needed help. The landing was catastrophic. The Void Striker broke apart on impact, its biomechanical components, finally giving up their struggle against entropy. KL-9 crawled from the wreckage, expecting to find humans armed and ready to capture him. Instead, he found a woman in a white coat kneeling beside him, gently checking his injuries. "Easy there," Dr. Sarah Martinez said softly. "You're safe now. Can you understand me?" Yes. I understand." "Good. You're hurt pretty badly, but nothing we can't fix. What's your name?" KL-9 looked up at her concerned face, then at the dozens of humans working to clear debris and tend to injuries that weren't even their own. They'd risked their lives running toward a crashing alien ship, not knowing if it carried diseases, weapons, or hostile intentions. "My name is Kale," he said finally, dropping the numerical designation that marked him as Imperium property. Over the following weeks, as Kyle recovered in a human medical facility, he experienced things the Imperium had never taught him were possible. Nurses checked on him not because they were ordered to, but because they cared about his well-being. Children drew pictures for the alien visitor and left them by his bed. Scientists asked respectful questions about his culture, genuinely interested in learning rather than dominating. Dr. Martinez brought him books, actual physical books, filled with human stories about hope, adventure, love, and loss. She showed him music that existed solely to create beauty. She explained concepts like friendship, art, and what humans called home. "Why do you do all this?" Kyle asked one evening, watching the sunset through his hospital window. "Your species fights wars, damages your environments, struggles with poverty and disease. Why also create beauty?" Dr. Martinez smiled. "Because that's what makes us human. The beauty, the struggle, the choice to help each other despite our differences. We're not perfect, Kyle, but we're trying to be better." When the Imperium's follow-up ship arrived 6 months later, they found the Void Striker's wreckage, but no sign of their operative. Kyle had disabled the ship's tracking beacon months ago, choosing instead to accept Dr. Martinez's offer to stay and work with Earth's first alien cultural exchange program. The planet-killer weapon lay buried in debris, never to be used. In its place, Kyle had found something the Imperium had tried to erase from his understanding: the concept of choice, the beauty of diversity, and the radical idea that strangers could become family. He'd been sent to Earth in a ship designed to bring death. Instead, he'd discovered life in ways his species had forgotten were possible. And for the first time in his existence, Kyle was home.